Yo! I want to tell you the story of my dump trailer. So, I got a new book coming out soon called Your First Year in the Landscaping Business. I just finished writing this whole book, right? And there's a story on chapter 2. It's called The Story of My Dump Trailer. And it's interesting and fascinating, having to do with the title of the book, Your First Year in the Landscaping Business, because I'm going to share about the time and energy and effort I wasted, man. Wasted. Why I didn't buy a dump trailer sooner. So, and listen, when you're in your first or second or even third year of your landscaping business, depending on how your brain is wired or how many poor people you've grown up around that brainwashed you, and I'm not trying to cast blame, because when you're a grown man, you take your own responsibility for your actions once you learn from your mistakes. I'll piece this out for you. Listen, it's not like you have $7,000 just laying around, and if you do, you're probably not just going to go spend all of it on a piece of equipment unless you're a higher risk taper type of person. So I had literally been in the landscaping business for 5 years and was dumping everything into the back of my piece of crap F-150 pickup truck. All the sticks and branches, I'm stomping them down, sawing it down with a chainsaw. I built sidewalls on one of my trucks, and I'm like, this is perfect, but this really works good. And everybody's like, why don't you just go buy a dump truck? And I'm like, because I don't want a dump truck. Which was a lie, because I didn't have any money to go buy a dump truck. A dump truck's like 16 grand. No, I bought a dump truck for $3,500 on Craigslist, and it's the best dump truck I've ever had. Well, lucky for you, because I've looked all over Craigslist, and I've never seen a dump truck for $3,500. I saw one, it was from 1978, and I was afraid to buy it because I knew that something was going to blow up on that piece of shit, and then it would become a $3,500 nightmare. So, I kept doing what I was doing because it was working. And I was telling myself, like, business owners who say, no, we buy everything all cash. We don't finance anything, because if the economy goes upside down and you got payments, you're going to end up cruising for a bruising. So, here's what happens. I keep stuffing shit in the back of the truck, going to the dump at like 7:30 in the morning, dripping in sweat, hustling, trying to rake and shovel and pull all this shit out of the back of the truck to go hurry up to get to a job site, because materials are going to be delivered, XYZ. Like, it's just hard-ass work loading and unloading shit out of the back of a pickup truck. Excuse me. My wife just made spaghetti and was delicious, and I'm not going to edit that out. So, and also, I have like all these really nice cameras, and I'm just recording this on my phone right now. Because I'm inspired. Yeah. When you get inspired, you got to do something, because you'll lose that inspiration and the video will never happen, right? But anyways, I look over there, a couple trucks and trailers now, and one of them's a dump trailer. We did do this trick where we put a pallet with a rope, and then would have the tractor operator guy at the dump. We'd hook it to the bucket of his loader, and then he'd pull it off. But I felt so embarrassed every time. I was like, I've been coming here for years, and I'm still giving this guy a $5 tip to pull the load off, right? So we're on this job site. It's spring a few years ago, and I finally got a brand new truck, and I'm like, I'm not going to load a bunch of sticks and branches and debris and destroy the back of the brand new truck. My '06 F-150 broke down after I had just gotten rid of my 2000 or 98 F-150, because that kept breaking down. And then my 2001 Dodge Dakota, other truck that we put stuff in, that one kept breaking down, and I literally got rid of both of those trucks. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 trucks, but I had just getting rid of 2. So now I'm down to 2 trucks. And one of them is brand new. I can't put anything in. The other one's broken. Now I have 1 truck. Because when you buy an old piece of crap truck, they keep breaking down. They're in the shop every single month. You spend more money fixing that piece of shit than you would just go get a brand new truck. Yeah. But, okay, so we're on this job. Just sold it. It's like $3,800. We do these whole property makeover packages. So Everything's overgrown, everything's crazy. We cut everything down, trim it. We just go through the whole property with a fine-tooth comb. And we take loads and loads and loads of debris out, and then when it's perfectly spotless clean and all the trees and shrubs are trimmed, we literally make over the whole property. Then we lay down all brand new mulch and whatever, right? But there's nowhere to put the debris. The job is going on now. There's the easement and the customer's lawn. The easement is the area on the city side of the curb. It's the grass strip before the road. We call those easements. And we're loading piles and piles and piles and tarp loads of shit, and it's just getting higher and higher and higher. And yet I have nowhere to put any of this debris, and we're booked out for a month, and I'm screwed now. I call the shop up. My truck ain't going to be done getting fixed for God knows how long. It could be another week. So I'm literally like, oh my God. We're busy as hell. It's springtime. I need to get on the phone and call my buddies, my friends who are tree guys who own chippers. Yeah, I could call them and give them a couple $100 each. And then they can leave their job sites where they're making thousands of dollars and they're busy running their own businesses to come save me again. Yeah, we're going to stop everything we're doing and we're going to go save Keith and go chip all his shit. And then we're going to are they going to come tomorrow and the next day and the next day and clean up? And there's a lot more than just tree trimmings in here. There's bush trimmings, there's weeds. I'm like, so basically here's, I just sum this up. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I have no choice. Now I don't have a choice. If I'm in business, and this is my business and my responsibility, and I'm taking care of my clients, and I'm a grown-ass responsible man, I need a dump trailer. I don't need a dump trailer next week. I don't need a dump trailer next month. I need a dump trailer right now. And actually, the real fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter what it costs or what happens. I fucking need a dump trailer right now on this job site because this shit's going down. And I'm just watching the guys are just hauling shit, all the trimmings, and it's just piling up in the customer's front yard. And so what changed in me in that moment was I was like, now that I knew that I was forced into getting the dump trailer and didn't have a choice, all of a sudden my fears of the money were gone. Now I had the perfect excuse. Now it was no longer a new toy. All the guilt was gone. The guilt that was fabricated, pontificated in my head about buying a new toy for my business versus getting me and my wife into a home and getting the best health insurance and buying a new fucking house and doing all these things that I should be doing for my family instead of myself. All this guilt-tripping bullshit from growing up of how you're a bad person if you buy yourself a new pair of Nikes. You selfish bastard, you're going to burn in hell for eternity. How dare you spend $100 on a pair of shoes? Who do you think you are? Because at the end of the day, if you're starving in a ditch and you don't have anything, you're going to go to hell and suffer and burn because you should have given that money to the poor. You should have done the right things. How dare you do anything for yourself? You need to suffer, you slave. In that moment, oh shit, dude. So in that moment, I call up the trailer supply, which is Shores Trailer Sales in Clinton Township, Michigan. Ask for Nick. He's cool. I say, hey Nick, I need to come buy a trailer right now. No, right now. He said, right now? I said, right now. I said, okay, I'll be there in 20 minutes. I leave the job site. I said, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to buy a dump trailer. They're like, okay. Because they hate loading the shit up into the truck and pulling it out too. It's getting dark out here. I go and I get to the trailer supply store. I'm looking at these dump trailers. I find one. I'm like, does that one work good? How much is it? He's like $6,700. It was like $6,500. I don't know. I'm like, just give it to me now. So I have an American Express card with like a $20-something thousand limit. And I have my business debit card. I'm like, put half on the credit card, half on my business debit card. So I put like, I don't know, 3,500 on my business debit card, 3,500 on the American Express. Because now American Express, you got to pay that shit off in 30 days, right? So here's what I did. I said, do half on this card, half on this card. They're outside. I'm getting it all hooked up. They're hooking up the lights and hooking it up to my truck. I back my truck up. I sign off all the paperwork. And I look out, and this brand new, shiny ass, dope ass dump trailer is mine. I'm like, this is really mine? This dope. So it didn't have no wood side walls or nothing. It's getting dark here. Let me use my laptop as a light. So I put it in tow mode. I hit the gas, and I drive back to the job site. And now it's a huge piles all over the lawn. I pull up with the dump trailer, and the guys are like, where the fuck did that come from? I just bought that shit. Now, let's put all the shit in there. So, without anything, I swung the doors open, and then they just started loading it up, and loading it up, loading up, fill that bitch all the way to the top. I bounced, I went to the dump for the first time, and I pressed the button, and the trailer went, and I pressed the gas, and just watched 5 years of my wasted life solved at the press of a button. I press the little decline button, it goes back down, I close the doors, and I haul ass back to the job site, and we fill it up again, and we were able to fit the entire job site in 2 dump trailer loads, which would have taken like 6 truckloads or something, like 6, and I'm talking like 6 packed truckloads. Like, we're jumping on it, and I'm sawing it down, then I jump on it, then I gotta put a big tarp and a bunch of bungees over it, and I'm driving down the road. So, this is chapter 2 of the book. I really got into this, and I recorded an audiobook version of it as well, and I was like I'm yelling in the audiobook and cussing. It's crazy. So, this is the interesting part, though. I paid it off in 22 days. I did the math in my head based off my current productivity levels, and I thought it would take me about 1.5 to 2 years to pay off this dump trailer. How did I pay it off in 22 days? Because we got that whole job done a day early, and I had to call the next customer. I'd be like, hey there, Mr. Customer, I know that we said we'll be there on Thursday, but can I come on Wednesday? And the customer said, well, sure. It'd be nice to see you here a day early. And I pull up to the next customer's house with a dump trailer. We get it all done. And what would have taken like 3 truckloads took 1 dump trailer load. And I had enough room in the dump trailer to go to the next job. I didn't even have to go to the dump. I went to the next job and got there a day early. And then went to the next job and got there 2 days early. And went to the next job and got there 4 days early. And then oh my God, we're running out of work. I've never gotten this much work done this fast in my life. 5 years. 5 years. I have to reorganize my brain. So what happened? Now I could take more phone calls, because instead of running around and shoveling shit at the dump, it saved me like 3 hours a week of shoveling shit out of the back of the truck at the dump, and I spent that 3 hours sitting on the phone just selling more jobs to more customers. And then now I was taking on more jobs and doing more jobs faster. And now I realize we are getting more done in the schedule than we would normally get done in a week or 2 weeks or a month. So now I was able to fit 1.5 times more work. Let's say 50% more work. I'm probably exaggerating. I don't know the quantified math on that. Let's say 30% more work into the schedule than I ever could before. That's a lot. 30% more, because all the time that I didn't realize it was being gobbled up, loading the shit up into the back of a pickup truck and stomping it down and sawing it down and then having to drive and sit in traffic. Dude, it takes like an hour. I'm going to the dump. I'll be right back in 20 minutes. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't going to be back in 20 minutes. It takes you like sitting in traffic and every single red light. It takes you like a half an hour to get to the dump. Then you get to the dump. You got to wait in line. You got to pay. And then the guy at the dump, you end up bullshit with him, talking about some stupid shit you shouldn't be talking anyways. And they got to shovel all the shit out of the truck, and that takes a half an hour. And then you got to go all the way back. It takes you like an hour and a half to go to the dump. That's like half your whole afternoon. I wasn't spending any of that time to the dump anymore, because now sometimes we're fitting like 3, 4, 5 jobs in the back of 1 dump trailer load. We were just going to the next job, and then I was like, oh my God, I got to sell more work and do more advertising because I can actually do more now. And instead of doing so, I was doing more, taking on more work, selling more work, closing more deals, making more money, and sitting in the truck selling more work, and then going to the dump and just pressing a button and just getting rid of it all. What I had pontificated, which means like go look it up in the dictionary. What I had made up in my head was a very vital, important part of running a small landscaping business, which is going to the dump every single day and shoveling the truck off and paying as part of the business, was so normal to me that I didn't even see that it was completely unnecessary to be going to the dump that much, because I kept doing things the way we always have done it. And I had the excuse that I shouldn't be spending any money on this shit because a dump trailer is a toy. Yet I'm destroying my back and pulling muscles and wasting time and not coming home for dinner by 6 p.m. to eat dinner at the dinner table with my wife and blaming everybody else for it. I got so much fucking work. So here's what I did. I said, honey, I just bought something really expensive today that I needed for my business. And I showed it to her. She's like, oh, cool. You needed one of those. Why did you buy one sooner? And I said, and then I put big sidewalls on it and shit. And then my friend William, who's a tree guy, after I built the sidewalls on the trailer, he's like, you didn't build these sidewalls right. You should have done it more ergonomical and more engineering and put the lag bolts. Why do you got screws in here? I'm like, because I'm not a fucking builder. I don't know how to do it. Well, you should have talked to me. We got to rip all this shit apart and redo it. I ain't got time for that. That's what I said. I ain't got time. Okay, so listen. Oh, yeah, 22 days. I told my wife, I said, listen, I'm going to work 7 days a week nonstop and make as much money as possible to pay this shit off. So I worked 7 days a week and I was able to pay off the entire dump trailer in 22 days. I literally made the 7,000 extra back in 22 days. Next thing you know, I'm hauling pallets of sod. I'm putting a little dingo in the back of there. I'm doing all types of shit. It literally unlocked an entire new level of excitement and ease to my little landscaping business that I never thought possible before, because I was focused more on the fear of going out and getting a dump trailer. You guys are in the comments below. You're stupid, Kelvish. Then why don't you go get a 3500 HD dump truck? I have a 3500 HD dump truck. And why don't you have a big shop and a yard? Why don't you have 20 employees? I make $4 million a year with my business. We just bought an excavator. Why don't you buy an excavator, Kelvish? I see you do some tree work. Why don't you go buy a chipper?